Let's open the book on this. A chemical threat in Garden Grove led to a massive evacuation of about 40,000 people on May 22nd. Officials say a malfunction in a tank holding a highly toxic substance raised fears of an explosion, and the chemical can harm breathing and irritate skin.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. That emergency also forced closures of local ballot drop boxes and paused food pantry deliveries. Even public transit saw disruptions. Routes near the scene were impacted to keep people out of harm's way.
Hi, I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, reporting from Irvine.
And I'm Garrett. Let's keep it moving. We've got a full slate today.
First up, a chemical threat forces a mass evacuation in Garden Grove and disrupts the community. This happened May 22nd. Garden Grove is just northwest of where many of us live in Irvine. A tank malfunction triggered fears of an explosion and a potentially toxic release that can damage your lungs and skin if exposed. Roughly 40,000 people were told to evacuate, which means leave the area quickly and safely. Emergency services put public safety first and moved fast. They temporarily closed ballot drop boxes and paused food pantry deliveries to keep folks out of the danger zone and avoid putting workers in harm's way.
Yeah, that checks out. When you've got a chemical that could go airborne or react, keeping people from gathering is key. It's surprising how much this kind of event ripples through daily life. Transit routes got adjusted, and supply lines, like the ones that bring food to pantries, had to pause. That's not just an inconvenience. It's about removing any extra traffic that could complicate an emergency response.
So why close ballot drop boxes specifically? I get clearing the streets, but that feels extra strict at first glance.
Totally fair question. My read is it reduces foot traffic to places where people might line up or linger. If the situation changes fast, you don't want anyone stuck in a hazard area. Think of it as creating a wider safety buffer, like extra space on a job site when there's a risk of explosion. Simple, but smart.
Real talk. If you were affected, keep an eye on official updates from city channels before heading back. And if you rely on food pantry deliveries, check with your provider about rescheduled drops. This is one of those moments where patience saves headaches.
All right, let's roll on. High-stakes showdown. Orange County teams vie for CIF Southern Section Baseball Championships with semifinals set for May 26th. Quick definition. CIF Southern Section, or CIF-SS, is the governing body for many SoCal high school sports. Semifinals just means the final four teams in each division play to reach the championship game. In Division 2, it's Newport Harbor versus Ganesha and Foothill versus Loyola. Division 4 has Grand Terrace against Laguna Beach. Division 5 features Irvine versus Kaiser. And in Division 8, Oxford Academy takes on Rancho Alamitos. That's a lot of Orange County flavor across divisions.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Newport Harbor has never reached a CIF-SS championship baseball game since the school opened back in 1930, so a semifinal win would be a first-ever appearance in a final for them. Ganesha, Newport Harbor's opponent, won the Miramonte League with a perfect 9-0 record. That's serious momentum. Also, Ganesha's Logan Schmidt is projected as an early round draft choice. For anyone new to that term, draft choice refers to Major League Baseball teams selecting young players. Early round means he's seen as top-tier talent. Add in that several of these semifinal matchups feature teams who haven't faced each other this season. That unknown can be a curveball, making scouting tougher and nerves a bigger factor.
Foothill is aiming for its fourth championship game trip, last time in 2018. And over in Division 4, Laguna Beach is hoping for a second-ever title game. The last time they made it, they won it in 2016. Local fans have plenty to cheer for this week.
Okay, honest question. Why has Newport Harbor never cracked a final in all those decades? Baseball can be that tough, right?
Yeah, baseball's a long game of tiny margins. One swing, one bounce, and a season turns. Plus, Orange County is stacked with talent across public and private schools. The competition is relentless. But this year, Newport Harbor already thumped Trabuco Hills 15-1 in the first round back on May 14th, so this run definitely has some juice.
Moving right along, Irvine softball crushes Granite Hills to reach the CIFSS Division VI Finals. This was May 23rd at Irvine High, and the Vaqueros put up a statement win, 16-2. They're the top seed, and the offense has averaged 12.6 runs per game in the playoffs. That's explosive. Seniors Harper Vandermolen and Katie Liu, plus sophomore Jocelyn Nair, each hit home runs. Quick head nod to context. Granite Hills had been averaging 20.3 runs entering this game, but Irvine's pitching kept them in check. 21 hits for Irvine overall. That's depth up and down the lineup.
Harper's on a heater with a home run in 3 straight games, and that consistency tells you the approach is rock solid. By approach, I mean staying patient, waiting for a pitch you can drive, and not trying to do too much. Irvine now meets Arroyo in the finals next week. Expectations are high, but they've earned it.
Why do you think the run totals are so steady? Is it just hot bats or something more systemic?
I think it's both. You've got hitters peaking at the right time and a balanced order where pressure doesn't fall on a single star. When pitching knows it can get support, the whole team relaxes. That's when good teams look great. Let's switch it up. In-N-Out Burger expands with a new drive-thru in Irvine's Great Park neighborhoods. It's going up at the Canopy, which is a 12-acre shopping center under construction at 7900 Great Park Boulevard. The restaurant will be about 3,860 square feet, with a 500-square-foot patio and a drive-thru that can queue 33 vehicles. A small but cool design detail. The drive-thru includes a roundabout. That's a circular intersection that keeps cars moving instead of stopping and starting at a light. It should help traffic flow during those peak burger rushes. In-N-Out currently has 636 restaurants across 10 states, and they tend to announce new locations 8 to 10 months before opening, so planning is clearly long-term here.
That's fascinating. The company first opened in Irvine almost 35 years ago, and while their headquarters are still here for now, they're planning a move of HQ functions to Baldwin Park and Tennessee over the coming years. It's interesting to see them deepen local roots with a new spot while also reshuffling their corporate footprint. Why the roundabout, though, instead of just a longer lane? Is it mostly about fitting more cars or safety, too?
Probably both. A roundabout limits hard stops and keeps drivers looking. That can reduce fender benders in tight lots. Plus, it can squeeze more capacity into the same footprint, so lines stay off surface streets. For neighbors, that's a win.
Okay, let's move on. Unleashing creativity. Pretend City Children's Museum in Irvine opened the Wonder Studio on May 22nd. It's a limited-time, hands-on art space for kids that runs through September 7th. Think painting with your whole body, clay sculpting, and a community sculpture that grows as visitors add to it. There's also a rotating kid gallery showing off the art children make right there.
The Wonder Studio is intentionally messy by design. That's the point. Messy here means low pressure and experimental. It frees kids to try ideas without worrying about perfect lines. As someone who likes woodworking, I get it. Sometimes the best ideas come from sawdust and scraps. This space gives kids that same freedom, just with paint and clay.
Let's unpack this. When a museum builds a space that celebrates the in-between moments, like drips and smudges, it says the process matters as much as the finished piece. For young artists, that's confidence building, and because it's here only until early September, summer is the window to check it out. And that's where we'll leave it for now.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett from Irvine.
Have a great day and join us again tomorrow.